In this LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga video, we are going to be exploring Utapau. This planet has been highly requested by you, my community. Before we do explore this incredible planet from Revenge of the Sith, make sure you do subscribe to my channel so you won't miss the next episode in this series. As usual, let's start with the platform that we arrive on when you land on the planet. And if you didn't know, this is Pau City, and it's got plenty of playable platforms and areas for you to go in and explore in. Now, what's behind the rock that blocks off the rest of Pau City? Well, you can see there is some rock and there's some gaps in between the rocks. And if you were able to walk as a minifig, you'd be able to get up to these areas, which you can't if you're just down there. And these are other platforms that look great in the distance. Obviously, they are using video game trickery. Stuff like this isn't super detailed, but from the distance, it works perfectly fine. We can now take a close look at the Trade Federation core command ship. As you can see, it looks fantastic, doesn't it, from the outside? All the different parts of the sphere that move around and act as a base on the side of the mountain. Here we are going inside it. This is a really cool structure. It's very different compared to the others, and we can get up close to it. I do love the aesthetics of this planet, it's really well done. We also have these two flying saucers right here, which are barely actually touching the rock, the mountainside, but they do go in a little bit. We can go inside it, and wow, it's got a gap in the middle. If we go behind the city, we can see some of the corridors, caves, which do go past the wall, and you can also see the makeup of the face of the rock with the various assets. I think this is a really good view, actually. You can see these saucers coming through the rocks, and we can move out and go up here. It's just really cool where we can see from the inside out just what the level looks like, how it was built up to create a really convincing looking location. Now, if we move away from the playable area, we can see some cylinders in the distance, but let's get closer to them, and there you go, that's what they actually look like. They don't just stop there, they actually do extend a little bit higher, and there's a few of them actually around this area of the map, which you would not be able to visit. I really like how, even though it's low poly, it's like a miniature version of the playable areas we have. We can continue our journey around this level of Utapau and see many more different structures, also some of the same, before we come back into the playable area. Now we've mostly explored this level, let's go up and up and up until the very top of the sinkhole of Utapau, which is what we see in cutscenes and, of course, the film. And look at that, just how far down it goes. Let's go to the skybox, and I feel like this skybox is probably one we've seen in another map, but they've just changed it from blue to green. And we also have the sun as an actual light you can physically go and go up to, like so. And now we can go down to the surface of the sinkhole, like this. The next place we have to go is down into the depths of the sinkhole. And this is the water, which we all know from Revenge of the Sith, when unfortunately Obi-Wan falls into it. But we can see just outside the rocks, the water plane expands, and this rock actually goes out further than the sides of the sinkhole. Whoa, okay, and this one is quite deep, look at that. It's two rocks, I think, yeah, it's two rocks clipping. So that is one big rock, and that is another one big rock. So when you're playing and you're looking far down into the distance, you only see that bit, but in reality it's actually much, much bigger. Coming out of the sinkhole, you can see on this level there is an extension of the rock, much like on the other levels. And on those, you do have a lot more going on, such as these cylinders. There isn't any on the lower levels. We shall now explore the level that is called So Uncivilized. We're able to go around the cutscenes. Unfortunately, there are quite a few cuts, so it resets the camera a few times, but nevertheless, we do get to see a far better graphically looking Utapau because the playable area is definitely toned down compared to the cutscenes. Now the cutscene is over, we can freely explore the level, which is a Trade Federation command core ship, which is far more detailed than the one that is in the hub world. There is the dropship variants of the LA-80s, which are pretty cool to see in the background. They just spawn in here and then start moving after a few frames, and then they despawn. They also start a little bit turned or in this area, and then, yeah, not quite the smoothest animation, but it does the job. If we start below the droid command ship, we can go inside and see how it's just this section here. It's like a bit of a cube, whereas everything else is pretty much empty. There's nothing going on. This Lego doorway here for the rail system does allow you to go behind it a little bit, and then it just ends right here. There is some vulture droids as well going around, just like the gunships, but they're going pretty slow, aren't they? They're on sort of a weird trajectory. What's behind this shadow? Well, there is nothing. It's just a shadow. It is nice to see the platforms in which Obi-Wan and Cody dropped down from, as well as the 212th Attack Battalion when they assaulted this level, and this is just the fight going on. But what if we go below it? We can find this level, which you can't go onto. Having moved further out, you will be able to tell that most of the sinkhole is pretty much the same in terms of rock formation, but there is far fewer structures on the mountainside. These are different. These weren't part of the open world area, but these were. There's just a lot less of them, and you'll notice that there's far fewer structures in general in this area. The makeup of the terrain, however, is basically identical, except there is no water and there is less stuff behind the rock face. Some of the trajectories of the gunships are pretty mental, that's for sure. I don't know what it's doing. And that is Utapau explored. Let me know down in the comment section below which was your favourite part of this exploration episode. And remember to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode in the series, and comment below which planet or capital ship you'd like to see in the next episode. If you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like to help support the series. Check out any of the previous episodes you may have missed in this series by clicking on the playlist on screen right now, and I shall see you in my next LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga video. Goodbye.